You missed me, didn't you miss me? That's why you spunt the block. You didn't spin the block, you spunt it. Welcome. Hi, everybody. It's been a while. Mama been gone for a while. Around about 3 months was the last time that you saw and heard me. It's good to see you all here. Thank you for welcoming me back. By that I mean just watch it. If you're catching the replay, listen. I get rid of the bills early. Okay, you can still cash at me on the block with Jen. You know this is still a money business. Speaking of that, shout out to everybody who literally sent me gifts the 3 month hiatus. Okay, that means that I said something or did something that impacted you some kind of way. And in one of those months, you was like, let me throw Jen a cash out for a smoothie. So salute to y'all. Thank you. Especially the Afro Universe, a huge, huge, huge supporter of On the Block with Jen, now Block Stars podcast. So thank you for that, guys. Thank you for being here. You guys know the super chat still works. Cash app on the block with Jen, just scrolling on the bottom. Buy your girl a smoothie. Good to see you all. So much has happened in 3 months. So many changes. You guys are probably, I don't know how long ago you guys were here, but I used to have a really dope panel. Life moves on. Everybody goes their own separate ways, but everybody's welcome to come back whenever they feel like. My gente is still my gente. The block is still the block. Just to change the name a little bit, change the brand a little bit. If you guys seen the previous flyer, if you follow me on Instagram or Facebook or whatever, you know I'm going to try to do this every Saturday. I'm not promising you. Okay, because Mama has a lot of other ventures that she's working on. Sincerely, I love y'all truly, madly, deeply. I'm gonna try to come back here at least once a week just to stay active. Okay, but if you don't see me next Saturday, don't get mad. Now, if you want to see me all the time, if you want to see me all the time, if you miss me that much and you want to see what I got to say and what I'm wearing, I even got an OnlyFans, y'all. Woo! Yeah, follow Jen Garcia. Okay, follow Jen Garcia, plain English. I'm not making the E number 3. It is follow Jen Garcia. Very easy to spell on Instagram. Okay, that is where you get me 24/7, 365. I am always there talking my jazz, posting pictures, all kinds of stuff, and still telling y'all what to do. Okay, with my whole chest. So good to see you guys. You know, tonight we're going to talk about Jaguar Wright, this whole Diddy thing. I haven't spoken to you guys about that. And you know me, I always have a different angle when it comes to subjects, and I make you think further than the surface garbage you've been seeing on social media that people are regurgitating and parroting. Okay, there's not one original thought on social media. Very, very, very rarely. People like my friend Ty Rivera, okay, from Unbothered. His show is very, very unique and always puts a different spin on things. He is Mexican, gay, and a Trump supporter. Yes, he is MAGA. I still love him to death. That ain't got nothing to do with me. Who he's voting for got nothing to do with me. But I'm just saying I recommend this channel because he has very, very original thoughts for a gay Mexican man, and it's not what you think. Okay, so he's a channel that I recommend. And also, again, if you want to see me all the time, I can't stress enough, follow Jen Garcia on Instagram. That's where you get all of me all the time. So welcome, everybody. It's good to see you. Let's get into this. What's up, everybody? I see all my wrenches in the chat. Everybody that got a wrench, you know how to use them. I got a fucking rule here. Talk to me nice. Don't talk to me at all. Okay? And that's my life. That is my life mantra, my motto. Talk to me nice or don't talk to me at all. I can't tell you how many people no longer have access to me because they didn't know how to talk to me. Okay? Nobody talks to me sideways. Take that to your baby mama, your baby daddy, your daddy who left, your mom, your boss. Don't bring it here. Okay? But you know I like to argue. So if you want to disagree, baby. But talk to me nice. Welcome. And I see Nase in the building. We got a new hair. What is going on, Nose? You looking like a what do you call it? A boy band. You looking like you just left a boy band. What's going on, Nose?
That's why you were commenting on my hair. As a matter of fact, I've been stuck watching because of that movie Deadpool where they do the NSYNC dance in the beginning. He does the NSYNC dance in the beginning. I've been watching the NSYNC dance. Bye.
I know that. Listen, I know the choreography. Okay, everybody knows the choreography. How are you, Nose? It's been a while. I want to get to the business. How you doing, Miss Ruth? I want to get to the business because it's so juicy. I don't think we have enough cups, Nose. I don't think we have enough cups. Okay, but we're going to get through it. I have my notes because I really do want to dissect this a bit. Diddy, Jaguar Wright, and all of that. And I always come from a different angle, make people think differently than what they're thinking. We're going to get into race. So it's going to get spicy and people going to get mad. We're going to ring the race bell tonight because race does have a big, big, big influence on this case and the industry in general, but not in the way I think people think. Okay, not in the way I think people think. Let me turn this fan off and say hi to the people. No saying. I'll be right back.
Yes, everyone, welcome back. Jen and I, we were talking about, we've been behind the scenes talking and, gave it a little rest, but she's ready to start coming back maybe once a week, talk about the things that are going on out there in the world. And last night she texted me and said she's coming up tonight. And I said, I'll be there because I haven't been on in a while as well. So, but I am happy to be back, and it's going to be a very interesting topic tonight. So I'm ready to go.
All right. So, no, say first and foremost, did you do any research at all on this? And if you didn't, it's quite all right. Chat, I know you guys are up to speed more than likely, but did you look at anything? Did you look at Jaguar Wright on Piers Morgan? Have you kept up with the Diddy case? Have you watched the CNN press conferences or what have you? Are you up to date at all?
Yes, I'm up to date on it. I did watch the Piers Morgan, and I also saw some other videos out there. I find it interesting, and I'm also up to date on what's going on with P. Diddy and his legal problems. I find it quite interesting. These things listen, we live in a different world than these people that have all this money, obviously. And there's a lot of stuff that goes on that maybe through access to all that, maybe they don't want to kill the golden goose. And maybe the golden goose is like access to certain things, but it's crazy how much of this goes on out there. And you hear the rumors, but it's wild that anybody that's watching this podcast most likely would be in jail immediately. It's crazy.
Yeah, so I want to, let's start at the beginning, kind of, sort of, whatever. Everybody knows Diddy got arrested. He's being charged with sex trafficking, racketeering, weapons possession. He had like AKs and ARs and all of that with the serial number scratched off. You can't do that. That's a no-no. The thing that made the most sense to me that I didn't think about before, because I was like, oh, okay, was they called him a mob boss. And I think that it's apropos. I think calling Diddy a mob boss is quite apropos. I mean, he had henchmen. He had, billions of dollars at his disposal. He had the women. He had the prostitution going. People went missing if they disagreed with Diddy. People got beat up pretty bad if they disagreed with Diddy, right? It was kind of like an open secret, just like when you think about John Gotti. We knew John Gotti was a mob boss. It was an open secret. We knew that if you disagreed or rubbed in the wrong way, you may end up missing or with some cement shoes, right? You know what I mean? Let him sleep with the fishes. And I think that Diddy is a real life mob boss. It's just that the way we think of mobsters, it's hard to put it on Diddy right away because it's like, no, he's a music mogul, right? But he is, in fact, indeed a mob boss. So all of this seems very apropos, and I didn't think about that before, right? Because you think of Diddy, he's like, oh, he's a puppet for whoever, right? So I wanted to get into that because, there's this the downfall of the black man. We're ringing the race bell early tonight, okay? Because race is huge. The debates I see online, talking about it's just because he's black, and what about Weinstein, even though Weinstein's in jail? What about Epstein, even though Epstein had an accident in a cell? You know what I mean? So and some people are dead that they're comparing it to, but let's go right in this bit. Okay, I know you guys missed the race bell. Let's get right into it. So people are saying that this is happening because he's black. And my take is all empires fall since the beginning of time. Since the beginning of time. And let me tell you something, wherever men are involved, black, white, green, yellow, or purple, powerful men, there's going to be corruption. Whenever there's billions of dollars at stake, there's going to be corruption. I liken Diddy over and over again to Alonzo from the movie Training Day, okay? Where Alonzo had people over him and they were white, right? But Alonzo You know what I mean? It was carte blanche. He could do what he wanted, sleep what he wanted, and get rid of people and whatever. And I liken him to Diddy because Alonzo got sloppy, right? In every organization, there's always that loose cannon that does too much drugs, that drinks too much, that makes the block hot, as we used to say, right? So even if you have higher ups, it's like, look, we're letting you do what you want when you want. You're making the block hot. Okay. And when you make the block hot, what happens, No Saint? You become a liability to the organization and you're expendable because we can make any Negro rich and dance in videos. So be careful. And I think that Diddy just, you know what I mean? Yes, he overstepped his bounds, but it's not, to me, it's like, oh, let's just get him and the downfall of this black man. No, I think that Diddy would have still been in business today had he got not sloppy. He did too many drugs, too many women, too much drinking. He got too brazen. Now you're beating people up on camera, right? You're renting out whole hotel room floors so you could beat people up on camera. And I think there were way too many hands in the pot. Okay. Too many people getting paid, too many people having information. And we're in an economy where, listen, somebody will push their mama in front of a train for $50,000. Everybody's looking for the bag. Everybody's desperate for clout. And beyond that, even worse, people don't even care about the bag. They want fame. They want social media fame. So if a woman or a man, because we've seen a lot of male groupies pop up after this Diddy thing is going down, if they can just get famous on social media, it's satisfying for them. Forget the bag, not satisfying them. So it's getting really, really dangerous for these type of men like Diddy and all kinds of other men in power to be this sloppy. Back in the day, it was okay. But now the crabs, okay, the crabs are on steroids and everybody wants a piece of social media fame or the bag. So it's very, very dangerous now if you're a sloppy man. What do you think about this case regarding race? No Saint, because I'm sure you've seen it online as well.
Yeah, I mean, listen. In any case where it's a rich, well-known, famous black man, that kind of is what comes up, right? But you got to really look at, well, if you want to look at the video where he's beating up that lady,
Yes.
or yeah, but you know, you got to look at what he's accused of. Now, it's all right now. I mean, he's innocent till proven guilty. It goes beyond. Even if they were trying to take him down because of race, he did something, allegedly, right? He did something heinous.
Well,
allegedly.
He beat her up. We saw the video. He beat her up.
Well, the beating up part, but I'm talking about all the things that have been out there, and these rumors have been swirling around for a long time. The other option would be don't do anything, even when you know he's done something, and just because he's a black man and that a rich black man, and that isn't an option in my opinion. Listen, the average person would have been gone a long time ago if these rumors were flying around. And what happens, I believe, is, and this happens, and it's really I think most wealthy people have some, like powerful wealthy men have something on some kind of dirt. You just don't know because they are cushioned by having all this money and people doing their beck and call. People, like you said, it's almost a mob, like a mob organization. He put layers in between the crime and what he was involved with, right? And people will do a lot of stuff to keep either access, like you said, fame. When you see all these people coming out, it only takes one. It happened like with, let's say, well, it's another black man, but Bill Cosby. You know, as soon as one person came out, everybody else felt like, okay, I'm not going to be the only one, and they feel more empowered to just come out and say what they, you know. But there is what you said as well is, well, I can get a bag, or I can go viral, or I can. So there's that element as well. But yeah, I don't. And listen, I mean, I can understand if you want to say, well, he's white, you know, what is he? You know, he doesn't know. But I just don't believe in this case. I don't believe it has anything to do with him being black.
Yeah, I agree. I think this race in particular, this topic in particular transcends race. This one in particular. I'm not talking about other men because, you know, on another hand, I think Tiger Woods got brought down on purpose. I think white people really wanted to get rid of Tiger Woods. Like, I could be wrong, and I'm far from a conspiracy theorist, but I think they wanted to get him out of the way. They were verbal. The other golfers were verbal about not liking him. right? They were out in the open. One of them literally said, next time he wins the jacket, make sure he doesn't order whatever, watermelon and fried chicken. So there are power structures where it's like, I don't want to see a black face. That's very true. That is very, very true. However, I don't think Diddy's case is about race. I think he got sloppy. I think if he was a white man and got this sloppy, the higher ups, the people above him, would have left him to the wolves as well. I mean, you're a liability. Thank you so much, Afro Universe. I was talking about you earlier, so thank you so much for supporting Black Stars Podcast. I told you, a big supporter of the blog per usual. Follow Afro Universe. Welcome your girl back. Throw a super chat in there or send me a cash app to On the Block with Jen. It is scrolling at bottom, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe. If you're here, you might as well, okay? And maybe I'll come back next Saturday. So going to this woman who was on Piers Morgan, they made a big deal, Jaguar Wright, because she's been she's been on a podcast tour, right? And I have to say, an urban podcast tour, right? Because she's been mostly on Black blogs, Black podcasts, or whatever, and she's kind of like the whistleblower. When you hear her speak, she'll claim that she's been in this business 30 years. I beg to differ. She was in it for a couple years, sang a couple of hooks, dropped a couple of singles, and then she kind of disappeared. And then she came back, this bitter ogre of a woman, and she's like, I am exposing everybody and everything, right? Now, do I believe some of what she says? Yes. Do I believe a lot of what she says? Absolutely not. Again, everybody's looking for the bag, the clout, and the attention. Of course, a lot of what she's saying is true, but it's stuff that we knew as well. I don't think there are any revelations. I also think she's playing a dangerous game. On Piers Morgan, she says some pretty heavy things about Jay-Z and Beyonce, and I hope for her sake they're true, right? So it's not about, oh my God, don't talk about them or be afraid to talk about, because I'm not that person, right? Be afraid, don't talk about Oprah, don't talk about, say it with your chest, but be prepared for the backlash. And she can easily get sued for slander and defamation and you know what I mean, things like that. So I hope she has an attorney, and I hope she has proof, because I think she's playing a very dangerous game, because I know if I'm Jay and I'm worth $1 billion and you're lying, I'm gonna take your head off, right? So she's no longer the crazy chick on blogs. Now you're on Piers Morgan. Now you've hit that audience. And I know in her mind, she's like, Mama, I made it. But that's going to come with consequences. She also said she was a sex worker. So will she lose credibility because she's a sex worker? Shout out to the sex workers. Fair exchange ain't no robbery. Do what the hell you want to do. But I'm just saying, the court of public opinion, they're like, well, she was a sex worker. So it's like, is she credible? Is she a credible source? I think she embellishes quite a bit. I think she's a soundbite queen. The directors have called me the soundbite queen. Jaguar Wright beats me, boy, because she throws out these one-liners where it's like Jay-Z and Beyonce are monsters, right? And it's like, oh, that line alone will go viral, right? Because Beyonce's always been in the ivory tower. She doesn't speak. She doesn't talk. Lately, they've been trying to make Beyonce look relatable and approachable and human. So they actually have her doing voiceovers on her own hairline commercial, and they have pictures of her holding a dog. So they're trying really, really hard to make Beyonce look approachable and human. I don't think it's going to work. I think she sells tickets wonderfully. I don't think she sells anything outside of that, like shampoo and clothes and whatever's, and Adidas. Adidas let her go. Now she's with Levi's. Levi's is probably going to let her go. She's an amazing entertainer, probably the best we've seen in decades. But the girl can't sell fucking water to someone in the desert for some reason outside of music. So this Jaguar Wright has been at this. I will give her, you know what I mean? Ooh, the woman is determined and relentless, and she got all the way up to Piers Morgan. Now, Piers Morgan did say, Jay-Z's not there to defend himself, and, Beyonce's not there to defend herself, but he let her go, right? She's a loose cannon. She's good for views or whatever. Another thing that's interesting is how white media, because we're still on race, it's interesting how the toxic urban, what I call urban media, anybody brown, anybody black, the Hollywood Unlocked, the Shade Room, Vlad TV, even though he's white, it's urban media, is becoming mainstream media. Like when I saw she was going to be on Piers Morgan, I was like, wait a minute, the white folks are interested in ghetto toxicity now. It's interesting. And not interested in like just to badmouth. Now they want a piece of that ghetto pie. That's very, very interesting. So what do you think about that? No Saint, our resident white man. What do you think about Piers Morgan? Like, why would Piers care about some crazy black lady that's been doing the rounds on black blogs talking about, oh, the industry is evil? Why do you think Piers Morgan wants a piece of that pie? Hit that like and subscribe for Mama.
Well, I've watched his podcast. He has a lot of interesting guests on there that attract a lot of attention. I think, like you said, I mean, it is a big the Jay-Z, Beyonce, all, those are like the big names around the world that everybody knows. Everybody knows about them, and so yeah, I think it is like, hey, it's money. That's views. I'm gonna get views. I'm gonna expand my audience. I'll expand my audience. I'll bring out white people are interested, and maybe if black people don't watch Piers Morgan, they'll come over and see what I got going on over here. That could be it too. Yeah, it was kind of interesting, and the way, but the way that the difference in the way she presented herself was a lot different on Piers Morgan than it was on the other podcast she was going on that were more urban. I find that interesting. Like,
so even you, a white man, even you saw the code switch when she went up Piers Morgan. She was well coiffed. She took off her shades. She spoke very eloquently, right? And then when she goes to the other shows and podcasts, it's a whole different Jaguar Wright. So it's interesting to me, the code switch. I can't believe people still do it, but they still do it. Whatever. She's become quite a character all her own. She reminds me of, honestly, a character off of like In Living Color, right? She's become quite this character. Her brand now is, I'm going to go on shows and be cryptic and talk about it. She emphasizes her words, and Jay-Z and Diddy are monsters. And, but you worked with them, right? And then you got kicked out of the club. You couldn't sit with them anymore.
Right.
You broke loose, right? And also, she appears to be, on video, this is in rumor, she appears to be mentally unstable. She's also the same woman that was throwing her dead son's ashes on strangers at a restaurant and then doused herself. That's not a mentally stable person, right? So you have to take what she says with a grain of salt. But if you notice, how you doing, Fahim Jackson? If you notice, right? Let's say, I was about to say, let's say you're white, but you are white, right? You know what I'm saying? Let's say people don't understand because they're so hell bent on race and oh my God, because I'm black, because I'm Puerto Rican, because I'm Mexican, you're doing this to me. Oh, yeah, right? You miss the big picture. And these people, you claim the them, the they, the white man, the white supremacy, the ones that are all in charge, that scary white man under the bed that's waiting for you to make $1 million so he could pounce on you and destroy your life. And because he don't want you to be a black or brown millionaire, right? You miss the big picture. And the big picture is green. The big picture is business, right? So, and it's been proven now with black and brown people who are owning networks, they are moving the way the quote unquote white supremacists have always moved, right? And I'll get into that. However, the them, the they, it's just business. It's not even personal. So when I saw her when I saw Jaguar Wright on Piers Morgan, I was like, so white people are now in business, okay, are looking at the stats and the numbers. And it's not rocket science when you go on Instagram and when you go on Facebook, okay? The business model is there. It is obvious that people of color spend the most time online arguing about the most minute, ridiculous shit. And it could be completely fake. If I want interaction on my Facebook or my Instagram, whatever, all I have to do, no saying, is call you up. We meet up downtown. I'll do a 2-minute skit with you saying, you know what, baby, I'm so glad that you're white. I'm not dating any more black or brown men. They suck. You're better. Now that took about 30 seconds to say. I put that on my Facebook. I will have arguments going on for weeks. Did you see how simple that statement was? Oh my God, my white chocolate puppy. I'm so happy. I never have to date black or brown again. And I will throw that on my Facebook, okay? And that will get me spins, views, shares, and some money. And some money. So if we can see that, black and white, 1 + 1 = 2, you think NBC, ABC, CNN, this, boom, boom, them, they're not looking at it? Right? Dr. Khalid Muhammad said remote control Negroes. All I didn't do is sprinkle a little something, sprinkle a little outrage, and I have you arguing in the comments for 3 hours. And you'll come back and you'll share it again and again and again because you're outraged and mad, right? It tapped you in the feels. So when I see Jaguar Wright on Piers Morgan, I said, well, yeah, of course. Of course. Because Piers Morgan and them know if Jaguar Wright appears on his show, there will be a slew of not hundreds, but thousands of Black people to see what Piers Morgan said to Jaguar Wright. Now you just opened up to a new audience. And it's funny because it used to be the other way around. The tables have turned. You remember when the Black and Browns wanted to cross over, right, to the white audience because there was more money there and more eyes? No, now it's backwards. Now the whites want to cross over to the Black and the Browns. Do you notice that? What do you think about that, No Sam?
Yeah, no, you took that thought right out of my head, how it has now changed. And I think what brings this on, because when we're talking about when in the days where Black people wanted to cross over, and especially like into television, they wanted to look non-threatening and all these things to get on white, the white channels or the main channels. But that was because that was the only game in town. Now, what people like Piers Morgan are seeing is, oh, look at Vlad. He's a white guy. Look at, he found a niche. I mean, it's so competitive now to get views that Black people are a good niche to go because there's a void being filled
right
over the years. And so, yeah, I totally agree with you. It's like, hey, look what these people are doing by, current events going on in the Black community. We can make money off of that. And it's so competitive. And people looked at what Joe Rogan did, and said he is making a lot of money, and it's cheap. It's not, you don't have to have a studio. You don't have to have a camera. You don't have to have, you can just set up a like we're doing right now with a mic and a little bit better equipment maybe. But I mean, and that's it. It's very inexpensive. So yeah, I definitely agree. Like now it's reversed. Now it's like, because they're, they may never do it on NBC, but you don't no longer have to go to NBC or CBS. Now you can just do it on your own. Yep.
And I think NBC is coming too, for the record. Fahim Jackson, thank you for the super chat, sir. Fahim Jackson says Piers Morgan did some damage control immediately after she threw Jay-Z's name out there. I mean, quick, go check it out. He cut her off just to covertly do it. I saw that. I did peep that because I saw the interview. He was like, hey, Jay-Z is not here to defend himself, right? And he has to stay neutral, right? Because the hope and wish and the prayer is that Jay-Z also goes on his show, which is probably not going to happen, right? Jay-Z and Beyonce have made, great careers out of being quiet, staying quiet. You may not be able to sell Levi's or Adidas, but it sells you tickets. Thank you so much. I want my vision back. Thank you for that super chat. Follow the gentleman's suit and hit me with a super chat or a cash app at On the Block with Jen. Buy your girl a smoothie. It makes me happy when I log off and see that little ring on my cash app. All right. So going back to the race thing, Vlad TV, he went on right after Jaguar Wright, which I thought was interesting. When Jaguar Wright was interviewing with Piers Morgan, she calmed down. Vlad came up, to discredit her. She's this, she's that, blah, blah, blah. She's a conspiracy theorist. Nobody takes her serious, blah, blah. And even more interesting, after Vlad, a woman came up. I'm not sure if she was an attorney or not because I was distracted while watching. It was a Black woman. And she was really going in on Vlad. And she called him a culture vulture. I have a huge issue with that. I have a huge issue with people calling Vlad a culture vulture, right? Not too long ago, I said vultures eat things that are dying and not fighting back. That's what vultures do, okay? Let's call a spade a spade. Let's call a vulture a vulture. A vulture, right? Do you want to use the word vulture? Is a big, ugly bird that waits, right? And sometimes they don't wait, because I Googled vultures, believe it or not. Sometimes they don't wait. There's a misconception that they just spin around in the air and wait for something to die. That's actually the shit that they do anyway. They're not waiting for you to die, but it's just scarier to hear, right? So they eat carcass. They eat dead things. And they'll even start picking at you when you're still alive, right? That's a vulture. So Vlad invites these people over and pays them. Let me say it again. Vlad invites people to his show and pays them. That is a job, mi gente. That's a job. When someone is seeking your services and they sign a check to you, that's a job. He is not a vulture. He is an employer. And a lot of people take the gig because they want Vlad's audience. That is not a culture vulture. And like I said before, I'm going to go back to the opportunists and the people in power. And it's the they, the them, the white structure, this white supremacy, and the white man in the bed waiting for black man to be a millionaire so he can cut us down and destroy the black man. Well, I told you guys before, you got Mona Scott Young. You got Ray J, who has Tronics. You got Lemuel Plummer, who has Zeus Network. Another one that just came out. Now That's TV. And all they put out is hot garbage. Black and brown people being the worst of the worst that they could possibly be that we've ever seen. I don't even know the people I just mentioned who own networks that are black. I don't even know the pits of the ghetto. I grew up in the South Bronx, as you guys know, my whole life. I know ghetto, okay? But I don't even know where Lemuel Plummer and Mona Scott Young and Ray J and that Now That's TV. What pits of the ghetto do you go to find these women? I need to know. Because I've seen ghetto, no saint. But these women, there must be a level like that movie It in the sewer. And that's where all those women just live in their bonnets. Because I don't fucking know. The worst of the worst. So now black people in power are doing exactly what they claimed white supremacy was doing. So were you mad at the person doing it being white, or are you mad at people in power? Because there's a big difference. Now we're forced, because we have the black network owners, now we are forced, it's in our face now to see that people in power just use degeneracy to line their pockets. You notice that? It's just people in power. And what do? People in power are opportunists, and they do not volunteer their power to anybody. And they're going to use the weakest and the lowest forms of humanity to entertain. That is why Zeus networks exist. Tronics is even worse than Zeus from what I've seen when Ray J throws out a trailer like coming up next on whatever girls. And these girls are ripping, when I'm telling you, ripping each other apart. I mean, stitches, blood, missing teeth, black eyes, hair ripped out from the scalp. These women are ripping each other to shreds, not a white network owner in sight. It's Lemuel Plummer, it's Ray J, it's Now That's TV, it's Mona Scott Young. So was it a race thing? Was it the white man taking advantage, or the powerful taking advantage of the desperate and weak? Now it's in our face. Now we need more networks. We've been hearing that all our lives, right? We need more networks. We need more representation. Well, now we got it. And look at the content that's being put out. Look at the content that's being put out. I hear everybody talking about canceling Tyler Perry because he's in a dress. I don't see nobody trying to cancel anybody else. These women are bleeding, missing teeth, stitches, black eyes. I mean, brutal. And people are tuning in. People are tuning in and loving it and talking about it. So were you mad at the race difference, or were you mad at power? What would you do with power? Everybody's enjoying this. So it's interesting to me when people say, well, such and such was complicit. Cassie was complicit. Mary J. Blige complicit. Diddy complicit. Jay-Z complicit. Beyonce, we're all complicit. Anybody who tunes in to the degeneracy is complicit. Anybody who's dancing to it is complicit. Everybody's complicit. Everybody's a hypocrite. We're all complicit. People love Snoop Dogg. They adore him. That's Unc Snoop. They love them. So, oh my God, Snoop Dogg might as well be right now Robin Williams, no saint. Snoop Dogg might as well be Robin Williams. That's Unc Snoop. He's so cuddly. So cuddly. This is the same man that walked 2 black women on leashes. No, I didn't forget. Okay. And I'm not going to forget. Because once I get famous, you're going to be pulling up my Twitter from 15 years ago. All right, bitch. So Snoop Dogg walked 2 black women on leashes in front of the world. What did men want to do? Men wanted to be him, and women wanted to be the women on the leashes. Everybody's complicit. Everybody, the degeneracy is just so dope. I want a piece of that. I want to be Diddy. I want to drink some rock. Everybody's complicit. The open secrets. Everybody knew. Everybody knew. No saying.
Yes, and another thing is, what you have to think about is what you already laid out, which is that people were showing up missing. People were doing this. People were getting broken legs or whatever, just like the mob, right? So if you may see the mob do something, and what he's going to tell you is that, yeah, don't say nothing. You didn't see nothing. Are you going to go ahead and go to the cops? Probably not. And so some of these people that, I mean, when you have power and money like that, you can cover up a lot of things. So sure, I mean, I know Jay-Z he's a billionaire. I don't know what he saw. I mean, all this is really alleged. We don't know what's true and what's not true. But I'm saying the people that were complicit, that were in his circle, were probably just maybe if someone wanted to go and blow the lid, they weren't going to do it because they're like, well, I don't want to be the one. It's just you don't want to take that risk. You got a family, you have all these other things. But sure, like what you're saying, I mean, everybody, it takes a very brave person to be the whistleblower on someone with a lot of power. So most people are complicit. Most people are just like, yeah, it's wrong. It ain't going to be me.
I love that. It ain't going to be me. The shit is wrong as hell, but let me finish shooting my music video because I ain't getting involved in that. And that's just not the music industry. That's every industry. That's your fucking job. That's your job. You could work 9 to 5. And if you walked in Monday morning, 9 o'clock, and saw your boss banging the secretary, what are you gonna go running to his wife? Are you gonna go running to HR? Your ass is gonna sit down with your freaking Starbucks and shut the fuck up. That's what you're gonna do. So when you look at the industry, the film industry or the music or whatever, that's that on steroids. You got glitter, you got money, you got, oh my God, I was at the party with Diddy. And I'm talking about men and women. I'm talking about men and women, because men are not getting out of this one. Okay, men were bending over too. They were doing the bending. Men were doing the bending at that party. And I don't know if you guys saw the press conference at CNN, but the things that it's a very well-oiled ecosystem. Okay, they were talking about regarding Diddy, the maids, the assistants, the bodyguards would equip the hotel rooms with plastic covers, the baby oil, the lube, the dildos, the extra linens, and the towels. That's straight from the U.S. Attorney's mouth. Now, it takes a team to do this. And this wasn't at Diddy's house only. This was at the hotels. He's flying out of the country, flying prostitutes in and out. These are at hotels in the States. And his team, okay, they had the task of taking the plastic for the furniture, Okay, the extra linens, the towels, the baby oil, the lube, and the dildos. This was a well-oiled system. Diddy could not do this by himself. He can't. You cannot. So when you're living like this for decades, you start feeling untouchable. And that's a human condition. That's not a Diddy thing. That's a human condition. You take it further and further and further. All right, guys. So where was I? I heard you talking about the MJ. Ooh, that's a whole other topic. No saying.
No, yeah. The thing I was saying was that that's the kind of power that money and power will give you, things that normally you wouldn't do. Like if it was your neighbor saying, I'm going to have your kids over for a sleepover, and it's a man, and it's the only person there, you're going to look at him, pull out your gun and say, stay away from my kids, you know? But Michael Jackson, they were dropping kids off, even if he didn't do anything. Even if it was innocent, that's just weird. You know?
Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly what I said. That's money and power and fame. I said, even if he never touched any of those children, any old kind of way, you let a grown man, okay, sleep in the bed with your child, okay, with your babies. So that's money and fame. Speaking of Vlad TV, Adam 22 is coming up. He shot the fame very quickly. He's like, he's Vlad 2.0 because he's a lot nastier and grimier, but he's someone else who they call a culture vulture. And again, I say, if you're sitting down and you're volunteering for these interviews, no one's vulturing anything. A lot of artists need these white guys because they know the audience is going to broaden. But again, now I see a shift happening and the tables are turning, and now white people want to cross over to what Black people are doing. So, it's very quite interesting. I think they're all on the take. You know what I mean? I think they're all on the take. They're all in it. Give me one more freaking second. I don't want to leave you guys. I see a lot more people in the room. Please hit that like and subscribe. Let me just grab my plug. I'll be right back. No, sing for the people.
Yeah. So yeah, as far as like what she was talking about, and as far as like culture vulture, that always was a term that I thought was weird as well. But I know it's been around a long time. And one of the things that I always think about is like, there's not a country or people in the world that don't borrow from another culture, don't borrow from another people, because let's face it, a good idea is a good idea. And if you didn't think of it and you see something going on over there and you're like, hey, I could actually make money off of that. I do understand the dilemma or the aggravation that somebody like Vlad, because he's a white guy, can make a ton of money off of something more, maybe even more than someone who's from that culture. I totally get why it is a kind of, it's a pain in the butt, or it's really annoying. I do get that, but it's like anything else. I mean, if there's a good idea, like, whoever invented the wheel first, right? Whoever invented the wheel, someone saw it and said, yeah, I'm tired of carrying this. That's a good idea. I'm going to go ahead and build it. Even if they're from another tribe or another culture or whatever. So it's just one of those things. I get the frustration. I understand, I should say, the frustration, but culture vulture is just kind of, it's going to happen. It doesn't, you can be, I mean,
yeah,
it's like us looking at, or somebody of your own race that lives in another country. If you see something like, well, we're culture vultures because Germany invented the jet engine. You know what I mean? Basically.
I mean, it's about opportunity. Although with that said, let's not get crazy. White people do have more opportunity to act the monkey ass fool than the rest of us, right? They do have that opportunity. So, which is why Black and brown networks are so far behind. But then when they do come in power, I just went over the garbage that they put out. So they're really no different than a Vlad, than an Adam 22, right? People like easy money, right? And Ghetto Chronicles are very easy money. But still I say that it's easier for like an Adam 22 or Vlad TV to walk in a bank and get a loan for a show, right? Or get a deal with a network, or get a deal with a sponsor, than it is for like a Ray J to walk in and get one. If you guys want to cam up, feel free. Okay.
No, I just want to, and I kind of went over that when I was saying, like, I get the frustration because, like I said, somebody like Vlad can come in and make a lot more money, um, and have access to maybe start those things, have a lot more access, like you were saying. The other thing is, like, I mean, he's putting out a product that a lot of people like, whether he's, you know what I mean? And so he can't do it by himself. So if it was really an issue, then everybody would be, no, there's no way you're going to get everybody on the same page. But if it was a huge issue, he wouldn't be able to do what he's doing. The people that go on the podcast, if they felt that way, they would just not show up. They would say, no, I can't come to you. I'm going to go over here. But it's all about, when it comes down to it, it's all about yourself, right? You always take care of yourself first for the most part. So someone, like, I think I saw Mencina on there the other day or something like that. He wants to get he wants to get eyeballs. He wants to get his name out there. And Vlad has that power. So even if he thought, oh, this guy's, I should go to someone who's like Latino or something like that. But he knows that's not going to have the same punch because Vlad's built something. And a lot of these guys have built something that's kind of powerful. So, that's kind of where it comes from.
So Irby Fatal says Adam 22 is definitely a culture vulture. I don't even watch him, honestly. The weird thing is that even Black and Latin people are culture vultures. Like, they're culture vultures. Lemuel Plummer, for instance, Ray J, for instance, they're not from the lives that that are the topics of the shows they're putting out. Like Ray J didn't grow up in a hardcore ghetto with women beating each other down. Neither did Lemuel Plummer. These are squares. These are square guys that had the opportunity, like say a Vlad, say a Adam 22, and this is what they're doing with their opportunity. So I would say that Vlad and Adam 22 are more opportunist than culture vultures, right? I think they're opportunists, and as we can see, everybody now is taking that opportunity. If you look at the blogs, the most popular blogs, right? The most popular urban blogs, right? They're run by Black people. They're run by brown people. And who are they talking about? They're not talking about white ghetto people. They're not talking about Pregnant at 16, the MTV show with all the white girls. They're not talking about Honey Boo Boo. There's plenty of white trash. There's plenty of backwoods white people they could talk about all day and all night. But who's going to listen to it? I keep hearing people, they're still saying, drop the Epstein list, drop the Epstein list. They dropped the Epstein list in fucking January of this year. They dropped it in fucking January. But you guys don't know about that because you really don't freaking care about the Epstein list. Only when you want to compare it to, right, Black criminality. That's the only time y'all care about a Weinstein or whatever, who they're sexually assaulting or what they're doing, is when a Black mogul is on the chopping block. But if you didn't know, now you know. The Epstein list has been out since January. Now, it's not going to be juicy to you because there are a whole lot of white people on there. Okay. And that's not as juicy as a list with a Diddy, with a Jay-Z, with a Beyonce, with a Tyrese, and I'm just throwing names out there. I don't know who's on Diddy's list. Who knows, right? Who knows? But you guys don't stop pretending you care about an Epstein list. The Epstein list has been out since January, right? It's been out since January. There's a slew of names out there. There's over 100 people you don't care about. You don't care about a Prince Edward or Harry or Andrew. You don't care about those people. The list is out since January if you're curious about it. Going back quickly to Jaguar Wright, one of the issues I have with her is that she's constantly threatening to, present witnesses and videos, and she never does. Every time she gets into an argument with somebody, she's threatening that she has this information and that information and shit, but she never drops it. On Piers Morgan, she was like, I got 3 witnesses right now that are willing to blah, blah. They never appear. I don't see any videos. I don't see anything. That's another issue I have with her. She always has like mountains and mountains of evidence. I've never seen it. I've just seen her character hit different podcasts or what have you. So when we think about this whole Diddy thing, I really wish, and it's never going to happen, right? Because humans are complainers. I really wish they would take the race out of it and see this is a power thing, and it happens across all industries. I don't care if it's Wall Street. It happens across all industries, Black, white, Latin. It happens in drug cartels in Mexico. You get too sloppy, you have to go. We will get rid of you. We will feed you to the wolves. It happens across the board. I'm telling you, this transcends race. It transcends race. If you had, I'll simplify it. If any of you looking out there, men or women, had a lemonade stand and you use that lemonade stand to kidnap people, and you had somebody at the front dancing to lure the people in, if that person that was dancing, luring the people into the lemonade stand, if they started taking people on the side and kidnapping themselves and saying it really loud to people in the neighborhood, hey, you know, I get 2 or 3 out of the people that we kidnap. The person that owns the lemonade stand has to get rid of you. Do you understand? It's that simple. It's business 101. It's corrupt business 101. It happens in law enforcement, happens in the judicial system, happens in the cartels, it happens in the music industry, it happens in the film business. Weinstein got too sloppy. Epstein got too sloppy. Diddy got too sloppy. You can't get sloppy when you're in a corrupt system. Trump is out of here. Trump is sloppy. Like, they used Trump as much as they could. You see Trump now, he looks demoralized and beaten. Now he looks as old as Biden. He could barely get a sentence out, doesn't remember who people are or what they said. He's inviting Nicky Jam up, who's a reggaeton artist, a male reggaeton artist. He's on stage talking about, Nicky, have you seen her? She's hot. She's hot. And then Nicky Jam comes on stage and it's like, I'm a guy. Nah, I'm a guy. Like, this just happens. Trump is sloppy. And they're going to use, and this is across the board, people are going to use you. If they're opportunists, they're going to use you as much as they can. And if you get sloppy, you got to go. And that transcends race. I'm sorry. This has nothing to do with Diddy is black. It's just, it doesn't. In my opinion, it doesn't. It may hurt. It may hurt to see somebody with your complexion be destroyed, but it was self-destruction. He did this to himself. He just had to chill. And the funny thing is that people are saying this is going to change everything. And it will. It'll change some things. It'll change people, you know what I mean, dotting their I's and crossing their T's. And it's like they'll probably be more vigilant of their puppets. But you really don't think, as me and No Saint sit here fully clothed, that ain't a lube party going on right now? You really think that as No Saint and I sit up here clothed, okay, that there's not a lube baby oil party going on right now at some hotel with some powerful judges? You really think it's gonna stop? It's never gonna stop. Watch the movie Caligula. Humans are a virus, like Agent Smith said. They're a virus, and they do the most vile things to each other, and they always will. And you mix money and power with that, that's what you get. That's the recipe. You just can't be loud about it. But trust me, there's a lube party going on right now. You're just not invited. But, you know, I saw something earlier where it's like men in general, women in general are enchanted by money and power. Everybody wants a piece. And a lot of you all aren't living like Diddy right now just because you don't have the money. But honey, baby, let me tell you right now, you give me $1 million and I'm going to have 2 naked mandingos at my crib all fucking week. Okay? Peeling my grapes. That is life. So, you know, are we disgusted? Are we really disgusted by what we're finding out? Are we really disgusted, or we just weren't invited? Get married. Honey, let me make 7 figures. Them 2 guys mowing my lawn, oh, they got 2 jobs, baby. Okay? And I don't want no talk back because I'm going to be paying. all capable of being corrupted. Everybody's a fucking hypocrite. We hear this across, and some of us are honest enough to say it. A lot of you are hiding behind tradition and religion, and I would never, that ain't my style. Let me give you 7 figures, bitch. That ain't my, I would never, I have morals. I'm telling you. And I'm going to be rotating them motherfuckers. My friends are going to come see me like, is those the same pool guys? No, they not. I felt Asian this week. I wanted some Asians.
Yeah. You remind me of the Chris Rock saying you're only as loyal as your options, or only as when it comes to not being faithful. And so Diddy had a lot of options in his situation. You know, like you're saying, that power, people, I think of the thing that Diddy wasn't like the leader of the country, or like Russia, where when someone says something about you, suddenly, you know, they have some kind of radiation injected into them and they're in hospital dying, and then I didn't do it, or they fall out of a window, right? He just didn't have that power, but he had a lot of insulation to allow him to get away with it that long. The problem is he got, like you said, he got sloppy, and how much more did he push the envelope to eventually someone just said, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and speak out on it. But I mean, he had a good run. He had
a great run, but you know, it's a big whodunit complicit soup. Everybody's in the soup. Everybody. Russell Simmons is smart. He got the hell out of Dodge, went to Bali. They can't extradite him. Smart, right? But Diddy, because you mixed everything he is with narcissism, and real narcissism, because you people out there, a lot of you, somebody rolls their eyes and you're like, she's a narcissist, he's a narcissist. That's not how narcissism fucking works. It's actual disorder. Just because your ex-boyfriend or ex-girlfriend was selfish doesn't make them a narcissist. Just because your ex-boyfriend or ex-girlfriend cheated on you doesn't make them a narcissist. But Diddy was a true blue narcissist, clinically. Okay? And his mama knows what really happened. She got the secrets. And mama got all the secrets. You know, he just got too sloppy. And even when we look back at The Sopranos and whatever, our favorite mob movies or whatever, even if the person was related to him, I don't know why everybody's acting brand new. Why is everybody acting brand new? All our favorite mob movies, all our favorite mob episodics, like the drug addict in the family, they always got rid of them. Did they not? Did they not? Because as much as they loved, you know, Uncle Tony or Cousin Christopher, right? Or Patrick, it didn't matter. You were a liability to the organization and you had to go. Once you start sniffing too much, drinking too much, your liability. They'll throw you in a cell somewhere and you'll be spilling all the guts because you got to get back out and get a hit. And Diddy's doing pink cocaine, and they found GHB. So now you're putting hookers and Cassie to sleep, and it was just too much. And he should be lucky to be alive, because usually they just get rid of you. He's lucky to be alive thus far. He's lucky to be alive. But this is commonplace. This is so, I don't know why people are acting shocked. This is regular, degula, schmegula. You always get rid of the liability, because he's not, I don't care how cool, broke bread, I named my kid after you, blah, blah. You're not bringing me down. I got too much on the line. And he was a full-blown drug addict, alcoholic, suffered from paranoia. You see it in his videos. His eyes are all, you know what I mean, loud, boisterous. Yeah, he had to go. Listen, if I was over him, I'd place the phone call like, did you see Sean the other day at the club? What do you want to do? That's how those phone calls go. Y'all got soft over the years. Y'all heard the word shaming too much. Y'all got soft. You know how business is. You know how it is. That's why all of you are named after freaking Italian mobsters, because you love the swag. Well, guess what? Italian mobsters will get rid of their brother if their brother's a liability. Y'all got soft. What's up, Kari? Ish on the chat. What's up, brother Ish? Let's see what Ish got to add here. Jaguar Wrong is a failed R&B singer. She did not achieve the level of success she believed her talent warranted, and now she takes it out on the industry that did not celebrate her. Yeah, that's a huge factor. That's a huge factor of it as well. You know what I mean? She says she's been in the business 30 years. I don't know what business she's talking about, because I remember her. No saying I don't. I remember her singing the hook on Song Cry and something else, but that's really all I remember. And matter of fact, to the point that when I started seeing this crazy woman on podcasts, I didn't even make the correlation. Like someone had to, I was like, who is this woman? Why is she getting all this? She's the one from Song Cry. I was like, oh, I remember. Okay, I remember now. Before we go, Ish, did you want to come up? I want to ask you something. I sure do, Miss Ruth. I'm telling you, let me get rich. I'll tell you, it's gonna be 2 mandingos, 3 if I'm feeling frisky, and I'm gonna be stirring the baby with the big spoon. Okay, you first, then you, and then you, because you're the new guy, and we all think like that. Cut the shit. It ain't just me. It ain't just me. Okay. Yes, I start. What's up, Fighter Complex? How you doing, baby? Hope all is well in your world. Hope all is well and stable and healthy.
It's really nice to see all the people from the past show up.
I love it. Everybody's pulling up to the block. I'm feeling the love. I feel more love with super chats and cash apps. But either way, I'm feeling the love. I really am happy to see y'all, because it's been 3 months, 3 meses. And I was like, let me go talk to the people. There's so much going on in the world, and I know they want to hear my take. So I'm going to be there. And I'm going to try to be here every Saturday, once a week. But you guys gotta follow me on Follow Jen Garcia. Please hit that like and subscribe for mama. Follow Jen Garcia on Instagram if you want to see all of me. Y'all gotta look past race with this. Tristan! Hi, Tristan. Thank you, Randy. He said, at least she's honest. You're damn right I'm honest. That's what we need. You need people like me. You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say that's the bad guy. Right? You need people like me. But yeah, I admit it. A lot of people that right now are prayed up, that's not, I wouldn't do that. God said and Jesus said, put $1 million in their lap. Put $1 million in their lap. What would it be to gain the world and lose your bitch? Here's $1 million. What benefit would it be to gain the world and lose? But it's easier for a donkey to go into whatever your religious people. Yeah, and I know you know what I'm talking about. It's easier for a donkey to go to the needle of a hole than it is for a rich man to get in heaven. Bitch, here's $1 million.
Yeah, I mean, this is obvious. It's just people that everybody in situations are going to do things immoral, and that's just. I mean, it's more about situation. Like Jen's saying, if you have the power and you think you can't get caught or you think you can cover it up, well, then you might start thinking about things. If you're starving to death, you're going to kill somebody else to get what they got. So right now, I would never kill anybody. Put somebody in a certain situation where it's you or them. You will kill somebody, whether you're moral or not, whether it's right or not. You are going to get that food. You're going to get whatever you need to survive. So, it's all relative when it comes down to morals. That's all it is. Really.
Irby said, not me, shaking my head. You the first one. You not me, people. You the first one. Okay? You the first one. I keep an eye on you. in an emergency situation because y'all be the first one. Tristan said, my thing is, why did this man keep all the evidence in his residence and not in another country? I don't know. Rumor has it that when it got hot, that all the main videos went into a private plane and took off. A plane that they thought he was on. And then when it landed, he didn't get off. But some boxes did. So I don't know. But also, the reason why he kept a lot of evidence and shit is because he's a narcissist. And narcissists, the darlings that they are, they really think they're untouchable. Like they really think they're untouchable. They think nobody could get them. So it's like they get brazen. They get like, ain't nothing happening to me. What they gonna do? They, that's why he had what he had in his house along with the lube and baby oil. Yeah. All right, no saying we done. I wanted Brother Ish to come up because I wanted to talk about morality, but I know he's scared.
Yeah, I wanted him to come up too because we could actually ask Ish if like that whole starving situation, and the only thing you can eat is a pig. What you gonna do?
Fired. Shots fired to the Muslim. Shots fired. Let me say that's a great question for the Muslims in the chat and watching. If you were starving, you know what I mean, and it was a pig, I say bacon.
Yeah, I mean, and if your thing is, well, it's against God, I think God would understand. I don't think I don't know. I'm not going to speak for God, but it would be understandable that I would imagine he wouldn't want you to die. And maybe he put that pig out there for you.
Wait a minute. No, Saint. Do you really think that God don't want people to die? The God in the Bible, the mass murderer?
Well, not if you believe that you're his people.
I knew there was a little. I'm sorry, I had to read in between.
No, he wipes. Yeah, no, he doesn't care about everybody.
Hey, not me. Right. Oh, okay. Brother Ish said I'm having a technical issue. Give me 5 minutes. I'm coming from the airport. I'm gonna give you 5 minutes exactly, bro, because I do have a question about morality, but if you can't make it, you can't make it. We can do it on another day for sure.
Definitely would like to hear. It's been a while since I've heard from Brother Ish.
Yes, I am, Mama. I am an atheist to the bone. No gods, no masters for me. No gods, no masters. I'm a free woman. Free woman. Okay. No
I was thinking, Jen, you didn't say this. You said if you had all these 7 figures, you'd have 2 Mandingos at your house. And I was just thinking to myself, you got to have a white servant, right?
Oh man, you mean a servant that I cross my legs and put my feet on like this?
Right.
Damn right.
File your toes.
Damn right.
Make sure your feet are clean.
Exactly. Damn right. Every now and then I'd be like, pause so I can put my feet up. Okay. That's how we're doing it. I'm gonna throw the link down. Because Brother Ish comes up, we arguing, right? Everybody be warned, buckle up. Buckle up, because if Ish comes up, we arguing. No, say this thing. Everybody duck.
Get ready for trigger buttons to be pressed.
Oh, yeah. Hey, me, I got a big old trigger. I don't even got a cute, little trigger. I got a big one. It's like people just bump it there by mistake. And it's like, hit that like and subscribe for Mama. Don't forget Cash App on the Block with Jen, especially if you're catching the replay and you're like, oh, Jen is back. Oh, shit, I missed it. Yeah. What is the chat?
This is fun. It's been a long time. I tell you, it's been a long time.
Yeah, for sure.
I got to get a light again. I didn't have my light here tonight. I see my face in the shadow in here.
Great, very great point. David Gerald says entertainment is 50,000 people auditioning for 5 very lucrative jobs. It's going to get depraved. There will be some depravity. There will be some depravity. Absolutely right. It's a dog eat dog on steroids. What did Tristan say? I randomly think when God sends evil people so he can watch his own drama. Serious, yeah, his cloud, like get up, baby oil. That's funny. That shit is funny. That's a skit right there.
Oh wow, that's funny.
Yeah, I mean, even that's power. When you think of God, if he exists, to whoever believes in him, that's power as well. So what is it? What is he gonna do? His power, love on people? Where's the fun in that? No saying.
Yeah.
You gonna have power and love on people? Listen,
they say that you're made in God's image, and so God is violent, so people are violent.
God is extreme.
God kills, so people kill. God lies, believe it or not. But the devil never has.
What did God lie about? Do tell.
Oh, let's see. Well, one thing. He actually. So the lies are it's breaking commandments, right? Right. And he says, "Do not lie," but he puts a lying spirit into a person. He actually puts I have to find that scripture for you. He'll put a lying spirit. He said that if you eat fruit, you shall surely die, or eat the garden. Nobody surely died. They ate it and they lived their life.
That's true. But you know what?
and the devil the Satan, the serpent, has never lied. Has never killed it. Oh boy, she's frozen again. Oh, there you go. You're back.
Okay, I was about to say. Cedric Kelly said God did murk people in the Bible. He
sure did. He absolutely did.
He sure in the hell did.
Children, the firstborn of all Egyptians, and the cattle, the firstborn of the sheep and the cat. Like, what did they have to do with anything? They were just sitting there grazing. Next thing you know,
that's abuse of power. Yeah, I mean, when you're in power, there's gonna be abuse of power.
Yeah, God
has. I got me a little kitten. She's bigger now. This is Stormy. Say hi to me. Hi, Mama. That's Stormy, and I call her Stormy because she's gray like a little cloud. This is my baby. And yes, you got cats out here outdoing men, honey, okay? Because I'd rather come home to my cat than washing some Hershey streaked drawers, all right? Besides, when I get my first million, I'll have Mendingo 1 and 2 in the back. No commitment. I'm here for a good time, not a long time, no saying. Okay?
That's right. That's you need to put that on a t-shirt.
I'm here for a good time, not a long time, baby. Wait a minute. Germany, July says that was Schopenhauer. Who said that? Who said what, darling?
I'm here for a good time, not a long time. Who said it? Yeah, let me know.
He said not true. So I don't know if he's talking about a Bible thing or.
Well, I will say this. There's nothing that happened in the Bible that God didn't sanction. Satan couldn't do anything without God's approval. So all the death, destruction, was all sanctioned by the King Mafia. God playing Call of Duty 2.0 with humanity.
Oh my God! Listen. There's no other explanation. God is a very interesting character. I'll just say character.
Kind of a douchebag, but okay.
Yeah. Well, I always said if God exists, he's racist and narcissist.
Yeah.
He's a racist and a narcissist. Anyone who says love me no matter what, obey me or else, eternal damnation for you, asshole, is a narcissist. It's a very narky type of love. Don't but me.
Think about it. It's the 10 commandments. He commands you to love him. It's not like you love. It's not like you love him on your own accord. He says in the commandments, you must love the God, put nobody other God before me. Like 4 of the commandments, I think, are all about him.
I mean, that's sexy sex talk since this is Saturday, honey. Okay, we must Freaky Friday. That's sexy sex talk. No saint, but I don't want no God talking to me like that.
Right.
Okay, that's like this pussy is mine.
Yes, yes.
That's how God is talking to you. God is basically talking to you like someone who just got out of prison. This person's mine, right? Like this soul is mine, right? No.
God is a what do you call the dominate, not dominatrix? Is that what it is?
A sadomasochist?
Yeah. Like, we remember our friend that used to come up here and
Yeah.
talk. Yeah.
Yeah. What did Tristan say? Oh, there you go. Israel Grace said, place no other God before his face. Just that God literally said, Lucifer is my favorite son. Jesus got himself killed and never found the acceptance of love from his father. I'm convinced Jesus had daddy issues. I agree with you 100%. But it's profound though when you think about. We're going off in the weeds here, but it's profound when you think about how the devil is more thorough when you look at the stories. I'm not talking about like if these things are real, but the devil makes more sense and he's more thorough than God, right? God seemed sinister, a jealous God. Thank you, Miss Ruth. He's a jealous God.
Yep.
The devil is just
human emotion, right? That's kind of really human. That makes him less of a god to me. Less of
absolutely, absolutely. But it's interesting. It's interesting to say the least. I think it's very entertaining. I just don't take it literal, but I think it's good. I think the Bible has a lot of amazing creative writing, like Shakespeare. But I can't take that shit seriously. I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all on your own with that one. I can't do it. I can't.
No, what you're saying is true. The devil is kind of, he speaks the common man's English or language of the day. It's not coded. He tells the truth. He doesn't lie. There's nothing in there that Satan said that was a lie. Everything he said was the truth.
And when you just think about it, I think if you look at it creatively or metaphorically, I think the devil or Satan actually represents a human being's innate desires, right? Now, what you do with those desires can make or break you, can destroy you, but they are natural desires, right? Because God represents suppression of those desires.
Yes.
You're suppressing those desires, but those desires are in you. You want to cheat, you want to fuck around, you want to suck a dick, you want to eat pussy, you want money, you want to be salacious, but God will the idea of God will suppress that for you. But it's suppression because you want to do it. See?
No doubt. Like the is it thou shalt not covet your neighbor's wife, I think it is.
Yes, and you want to covet
her.
Yeah,
and your wife is walking around his wife's walking around in a negligee in the window, and you look, and then they tell you that if you even think of it in your head, you committed the sin. You can't even think like, oh wow, that's hot. I wish you can't even think it. Don't even think.
And that's innate. Like you would see somebody that's attractive and be like, I wonder what that mouth do, right?
Right.
Brother Ish, welcome back to the block. Okay.
Please, can you hear me?
You're frozen, but I can hear you. Now I can see you. You're moving. You're good. Okay. You got we can see you. You got the Denzel and the Equalizer look going right now.
I am a South Central superhero.
A South Central superhero. Look at he's giving Denzel right now an Equalizer. Welcome, Brother Ish. First of all, before I ask you a question, because we not gonna be here all night. Hold on. Tristan said the devil said, listen, homie, bought 1,000 bottles of baby oil and he is sexually violent. But hey, if you want $50 million, go to that party and get you a freak on. Hey, okay. So before I ask you a question, Brother Ish, before we get out, and thank you so much, everybody who we had a lot of people in the room tonight. My goodness, we were over 100 people. Salute to everybody who came back and said hi to me. Don't forget my Cash App on the block with Jen floating on the bottom. Get your girl a smoothie or a super chat while I ask this. Now this conversation is going to get really interesting. Real interesting. Okay. And just to honor and bring bring Ish in the right way, because this is where we're headed. Let's just give him a little a warm welcome with the voice. Hi, brother.
I was good at 350 years ago. I'm violent now. Do you understand me? God damn it, I'm violent.
One of the best lines ever. Okay, so people are saying hi to you in the chat. Can you briefly tell us what you think about the Diddy case thus far? And then I'm gonna ask you a question. What do you think? What are your thoughts without me asking anything or whatever?
Wow, that's kind of loaded for me.
Why? Tell us why it's loaded.
I've been to Diddy parties.
Wait, whoa, exclusive, y'all. You've been to which Diddy parties? The white parties?
No, I went to, I think it was the last party at the for the one of the awards, like the BET Awards or something. He did like a big party at his house.
Was that the one where they were all wearing red on stage? Was it that? Was it that night?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, because I remember he did. Excuse me, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Miss Ruth just wants you to know, Ish, you are fine as fuck. Quick commercial break.
I'm single.
Okay.
Peace.
Okay, Ish is single, ladies. So, okay, you went to the party. What was the vibe? Take us into it, because we ain't been at the Diddy party. We wasn't invited. What was the vibe?
So first thing, you know, they blocked off his street.
Oh.
They, you know, he took care of all the neighbors so that, you know, say, hey, I'm having a party. Y'all may not want to be here. So I think, you know, he got him rooms at like the Beverly Hills Hotel or something like that. What else happened? You could not drive up to his street. You had to go to the hotel, like probably like a mile and a half away, and get shuttled up, and you had to have a list. Now, the interesting thing, you know, me being from the security world and the whole nine, everybody who's anybody was trying to get into that party. And I don't care what level of strata that you say, oh, I'm a city councilman, you'll never find me at a Diddy. You was there, dude. You were there. Everybody. I mean, everybody was fighting to get into the party. It was not like, you know, walking up nicely. No, people were clamoring to get into the party, even that were on a list.
Okay.
And then Diddy had a no-fly list. He had some people that was like, regardless of if they show up and they're a celebrity, they can't get into the party. And it's like, you mean, and I'm just using a name, but it wasn't that name particularly. But like Dwayne Rock Johnson, he can't come to the party. Like, okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, he had a list of individuals he did not want to have come into the party.
It was still exclusive. It was still exclusive. There was lists. Shut the street down, send the neighbors to the hotels. It was that serious. The Diddy parties are that serious. So you're inside now. From your vantage point, what was the vibe like? Was it like, you know, because I'm sure you were at party A, not party B, C, and D that happens after 3 o'clock in the morning. So at the initial party, what was the vibe like? Is everybody having a good time? Is it like Studio 54 back in the day? Beautiful people and drinks and music. What was the vibe like?
Yeah. It's okay. So in his backyard, they had food trucks. So they had he had a bunch of different food trucks from different companies, you know, that were serving food. So you can get, you know, chicken and waffles and da. Like he had all like it was like 4 or 5 different food trucks. He had a big stage area deeper into the backyard, and it was packed full of people, and it was free drinks, free food, and like it was like if you gave your kid an endless amount of money at Chuck E. Cheese with adults, you know. So people are just getting like ridiculously sloppy drunk, you know, just overeating, just, you know, like it was just, because you're bumping into Beyonce. She's standing right next to you. You're bumping into Kelly Rowland because everybody's walking freely in this whole soiree of just human wildness. Like it's like in the movies. Like it was just like that his parties were just like that. And he's sitting up there, orchestrating the party, in his little section, overlooking everything, and partying and dancing and having his little elite clique that's right there with him. But yeah, I mean, it was a wild night, and it kept going till sunrise.
So it was hedonism. Was this hedonism going on?
Right. I didn't see nobody. I didn't go into any rooms. I didn't go down to.
Did you see? Okay, even at party A, right? Because there's different parties. There's different levels of Diddy parties. Even at party A, did you see naked women walking around, or scantily clad women, say like models? Sometimes they get atmosphere models, right? Did you see anything like that? Because Khloe Kardashian did say that at the parties there are women walking around naked or scantily clad. Did you see anything like that?
Nah.
You didn't see none of that?
Nah. I mean, outside of just chicks to dress, expose themselves trying to hook up. Beyond all that, that was that.
Oh, I don't like that idea of the food trucks. I'm that bougie. I don't care if it's Diddy's party. I'm gonna be like, I'm not no Saint, you know me. I'm not walking. I got heels on, bitch. I'm not walking over nobody's grass to a food truck. Okay.
No, it literally made sense. Like it was, like to manage. Like if you look at it from like a party creator type of scenario.
I mean, it just sounds okay. I'll give him this. It sounds lazy. It sounds like I'm tired of having all the food in my house. Let's do something different. Let's do the food trucks and let people go at it. I just don't like the idea of it. I get it though. I get the like convenience. Right. I get the convenience of it. I just like,
And as an assistant that ran up there and said, "Hey, Diddy, I have a great idea. Why don't we do food trucks and we don't have to have all the cleanup of the dishes and all that kind of stuff,
Absolutely.
And it's their responsibility." Yeah, that's
and you don't got to deal with it the next day, right? You just fucking pack your truck up and get the hell on. It makes perfect sense. sense. So it went on until the morning. Now, here's what I think. I do think that Diddy had parties and then Diddy partied. You know what I mean? I don't think that every party had the freak offs going on. I think He was very calculated to when we're going to do the freak offs and the baby oil, and when this is just going to be a celebration of the BET, you know what I mean? The Vanguard Award that I got at BET. So it sounds like you were at a mild party.
I've been at two Diddy parties, and I guess I would fall into that mild category. Yep. But I'm average Joe. I mean, I'm not anybody.
But you were doing security. Security got all the tea. Bodyguard.
Well, no, on one party that I went to in New York, I wasn't security. I was a guest, and then because I worked for Revolt at the time, and then the other party I was a security consultant basically. I wasn't really like on guard.
Oh, okay. Because I was about to say, honey, the bodyguards, the chauffeurs, they got all the tea.
Oh, they do. That is absolutely true.
They got all the tea. So let me ask you this. Did you at any point in time, because you're hyper aware because of what you do for a living, did you see anything that looked a little strange or suspect? You ain't got to end up on an indictment or anything. But I'm just saying, did you ever, because I know I had to work the door at a club, and I was very hyper aware of what people did with their hands and their eyes and their faces, because you have to be able to avoid a fight, right? That was my job, to make sure everybody wasn't, you know what I'm saying? And I got to call security or whatever. But did you ever see anything that was like, that's going to end up really bad by 3 o'clock? I'm trying to get Ish back in here because I wanted to ask him about the juicy stuff.
I know.
He said he had to go, or did it get knocked down when I restarted?
I think it got knocked down because he was talking to me. His video had frozen, but I think he stopped showing video and was just talking. And then all of a sudden he stopped talking, went away.
Okay. So thank you, Miss Ruth, for the super chat. Another big supporter of the blog. Miss Ruth says, salute, Jen. Great content and always. Welcome back. Thank you so much, lady. Necessary Evil in a super chat. Another huge
Look
supporter.
at Necessary Evil.
Yes. What that WD-40? Oh no, honey, you must not follow me on IG. I need nothing but a little inspiration. Yeah. Yep. Israel Grace, they did hit Diddy with a RICO. Yeah. He's in trouble.
Yeah, Rico's always the catch-all.
Keith Davis said, but poor Cassie though. Poor, she worth 30 mil now. She's all right. Cassie's gonna be okay. She got enough money to, you know what I mean, stay in therapy and afford whatever meds she needs and luxuries, and she's gonna be okay. Her babies and her husband are gonna be okay. It's a lot. That's a lot of bank. It's a lot of money. You know, and I know she went through horrific things. I can't even fathom. But you know, 30 million is a nice cushion. It's a nice.
I'd say it is.
It's a nice cushion.
Surprised some of the other guys didn't come up. What's a racist light guy? Down in Florida.
Why are you calling George racist? I mean, maybe he's racist, but he had love for us. And you know, racism don't bother me. Just don't mess with my money or my man when I have one.
That's right. That's right.
That's right. Let me see if it's just come back up, because I did want to ask him about race and Black morality, because I did have a NOI, a Fruit of Islam, slip into my DMs the other day to give me a little piece of his NOI mind because of what I was saying about Diddy. And I was like, don't come at me with your bullshit.
Yeah, I want to hear his take on it. I want to hear what he thinks.
His phone probably died. His phone's always, let me see.
Hey, Necessary Eva, she just told me hi, so. Hello.
Let me see.
Glad to see, like, again, I'm going to mention it again. Glad to see so many people that they didn't forget, you know?
Yeah. Hey, we had a good fucking show, no Saint. Okay.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun.
Yeah, meat and taters. Yo, Israel Grace said, for 30 million, dude can punch me next. Oh, Lord. Lord. Dory Dodu says Cassie was his girlfriend 8 years, smiling all over him. Yeah, I mean, abused women smile, manipulated women smile. You know what I mean? I keep reminding people that who say she didn't leave. She did leave. That's why he's in a cell right now, because it was her lawsuit that catapulted the fall of an empire. Really, Bad Boy was an empire. She did leave. However, I think 8 years, honestly, is not a long time for an abused woman to stay with a man. Some women stay 20, 30, 40 years. Some women never leave. Okay. And I have to remind people that they're also in situations that they don't leave that are terrible, like wasting away at a job, working for somebody you don't want to work for. And I do not misconstrue. I didn't say everybody who works a regular job hates it. There are plenty of people that are 9 to 5 and they happy and this is what they want to do and they want to retire and they cash in the 401k. And I'm not talking about that. I'm saying that there are a lot of miserable people that won't leave a spouse that they can't stand because the money is tied in, or they must finish raising the children, or people that have toxic mothers or fathers or sisters or brothers, and they're at Thanksgiving every fucking year. So there are a lot of people that don't, quote unquote, leave the situations. Now you're talking about a girl. People forget that Cassie was 18, 19 years old. Sean John was damn near 40. So we're talking about an almost 20-year difference. Not only did he have 20 years on her, but he had maliciousness, narcissism, manipulation, drugs, liquor, isolation. And Cassie's not from the street. She's not that girl. Okay? She's not that girl. Docile little 105-pound thing. Okay? 18, 19 years old. Didn't know her ass from her face. She literally walked into the devil's lair. Literally. This ain't no street girls, because the street girls, us girls growing up in the Bronx, we have to mature quickly because we're in survival mode. Okay. from when we're young, but Cassie didn't come from that world. So I'm sure by the time she wanted to get out, she's years in. So yeah, you're going to be on the red carpet smiling. Yeah, you're going to, if he says jump, you say how high. And now you're afraid for your life because you see people end up missing around him. She was literally the girlfriend of a mob boss. And men didn't leave. Men didn't leave. Men were afraid. After Cassie, you got this one and that one. And I saw this. And all the men are coming out now. But keep in mind, they came out after a woman. Okay? It was Cassie that led the charge. I don't care who was saying what on podcast. Cassie led the charge to destroy that man. I know people were talking shit on Gene Deal. And I know there were rumors and all of that. But Cassie led the charge to the fall of that empire. Okay, so she left. Stop saying, why didn't she leave? She left. Worry about why y'all ain't leaving a situation that y'all hate right now as you watch the block.
I wonder if Mace is really happy he got out of that when he did.
Who?
Mace.
Oh my God, he's always dragging Diddy. He's always dragging him.
I'm saying, I bet you he's glad he just dropped out of the scene.
Thank you. Like the security was afraid.
Yeah.
How many security guards have come up now talking about, yeah, I did see him beat her in the face, but I tried.
Not just that, like they're probably like, well, if I leave, I got to go at Walgreens and do this, and they don't pay. they don't pay like Diddy pays. I ain't saying nothing.
Yeah, it's appealing. Most people are fans. They don't understand that celebrities just have jobs like everybody else. It's just their job lands them on your TV. I always say that it's just a job, but for some reason, common folk think it's more glamorous. Right. So you got security, you're getting paid hundreds, sometimes thousands if you shut your mouth.
Right.
And you get to run around with Diddy. They didn't leave either. So this morality check that they're trying to do with Cassie, honestly, I think she's the most innocent because Kim Porter didn't leave. Kim Porter was still running around with him and accepting him. Misa, his first baby mama, she didn't come out and expose him. The other one they call Pumpkin, the other baby mother, she didn't expose him. The Asian with the last baby, she didn't expose him. Carisha, she didn't expose him. All them women were in it. Cassie is the only one that was like, I'm out of here. Fuck it. Scorched earth. If he kills me, he kills me. I'm gone. That shit was bold as hell. That's like John Gotti's girlfriend turning him in.
Right.
People, listen. This is Joan of Arc here. Ish said he's trying to get to a better internet connection. I don't know why I froze. I don't like it. I'm gonna have to check because I did change my cable company. That was whack though.
Yeah, you never know. I mean,
not necessarily what. Ish, not necessarily what. I don't know what if you guys don't speak in complete sentences, I don't know what you're saying.
For the most part, you're I mean, other than the freezing, it's no problem whatsoever. You're smooth. So I don't know what happened there, but hopefully it's just temporary. It's not
Andrea Libra says Kim was writing a book till she got murked. About that book and that rumor, she may have been, but we don't know that for sure. And we sure as hell don't know if she penned that book because she's gone. So, unfortunately, when people are gone, anybody could say you said anything. The man that put out the book claims that it's true, but we don't, she's gone. It's kind of hard to gauge. You know what I mean? They did say her laptop was missing and she was going to drop this tell-all book, but I'm like, think about that logically for a second. If she was thinking of dropping a tell-all book, maybe she was writing a book, but was it a tell-all book on Diddy? And you understand? Like, was she ready for to me, if you're going to expose a man, I don't think a man of Diddy's caliber and power and violence, I don't think you're just going to put out a book. I think you're going to work with authorities and make sure you're safe. I don't think that Kim Porter was going to put out a tell-all book of how sinister Diddy was and then just go on about her business. I think she would have went to the law first if she was really going to expose him. That's just my opinion. This is common sense. Like, you're going to expose a mob boss with a book? Like, Cassie went behind lawyers and the law and the feds. She was like, I'm going to tell, but I need to protect me. And I still, let me tell you something. I still fear for Cassie's life. I still, because yeah, she got the 30 million, but I'm like, she's not in a witness protection program. This woman took down an empire.
Right.
And she's going to sail off into the sunset and shop at Target. I still fear for her life, money and all. I mean, her plastic surgeon conveniently drove off a cliff. After he did her surgery and got into an argument with Diddy, because Diddy wanted her to do the boobs over again. He didn't like how they looked, so he demanded, and the doctor was like, I just did the surgery, I can't take him out. And the next day, he had to redo boob surgery, cut somebody open, put him under anesthesia again. And then a couple months later, that surgeon drives off a cliff with his dog in the car. How convenient. How convenient. So you got all of that around you. I don't think that Kim Porter was going to expose him with a book. Like, I just, it's hard to believe. Irv Gotti is right. 50 Cent is a rat. Is he? That is true, East Gravel. Absolute power corrupts. Absolutely. All right, Ish, you taking too long to come back. And you guys know after the 2-hour mark, Mama turns into a gremlin. So you're coming up with a rattlesnake right now, Ish. But I did want to explore. I did want to have an in-depth conversation about Black morality. And someone told me today, they were like, there's no such thing as Black morality. It's just morality. And I was like, I disagree. Because when I hear Black people talk about morality, they talk about it differently, especially religious Black people. They do speak like they're morally superior to those white people and what those white people do, right? There are a lot of words that get thrown around that were allegedly white things until Diddy got exposed. The cuckold, the pegging, the sleeping with men and women, the baby oil, right? If I described all of that to you and I didn't tell you who it was, and I said, what race do you think that man was? You would say white. You wouldn't say a Black man. So there is different morality for different races and ethnicities. I'm gonna stick to that. And I did want to talk to Ish about that, but oh well. All right, guys. So this was amazing. Next time for sure, because it's gonna be a long conversation, and you know Ish is long-winded. With that said, please hit that like and subscribe for me. Please hit your girl on the Cash App on the Block with Jen so I get motivated to come back. Again, I'm going to try to do this once a week, every Saturday. That's all my mentals can take because I got a lot of things going on. And this is the fourth quarter, baby. We got 3 months left in 2024. And I want to finish out 2024 strong. And you should too. Take care of your health, your mental health, especially. Take them social media breaks. Go fucking float somewhere. Cry it out if you have to and pick yourself back up and get the fuck on. Okay? Cut the toxic people out your life, not just on December 31st, but right the hell now. Life is short. People are freaking dropping dead everywhere we look. Take care of yourself. Israel Grace, get well soon. I ain't sick, baby.
Rip John Amos, matter of fact.
Yeah, that hurt me to the core. You know what? That hurt me so bad that after I posted, like, yes, life well lived, but still, and I put the little broken heart. Because John Amos was one of those actors via his roles that really touched your heart. Mm-hmm. Really touched your heart, especially when he reminded you of your dad, right? And he reminded me of my dad. My dad was very, he ruled with an iron fist. So, after I posted that, my condolences, I was like, I don't even feel like joking. So I took the day off from social media. I was like, I can't follow that up with jokes and memes, and that's what we're becoming. We're becoming hyper insensitive. We went from hypersensitive to hyper insensitive, and I'm like, no. Sometimes you need to pause and sit for a minute and
for sure
mourn people. So yeah, definitely rest in peace to John Amos. Mr. Glock 54 said, "Baby oil is for Black people." Is it? Okay, I guess. All right, guys. With that said, Salute. Thank you all. You know, I got mad love for you all. Hit that like and subscribe. I was going to do a 1 hour. We ended up doing 2. No, Saint, thank you for being here and being the white voice.
I enjoyed. Thank you.
And we will see you guys next week. As per usual, I am on the block with Jen Cash App. I'm sorry. Yes, on the block with Jen Cash App. I'm getting tired. Follow Jen Garcia on Instagram. Follow all the sexies on follow Jen Garcia Instagram. Cash App is floating on the bottom on the block with Jen, and then Block Stars podcast on Instagram. But if you go to follow Jen Garcia, you can find everything else about me over there. Thank you so much. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for welcoming me back. Thank you for being really dope in the chat and adding to the conversation. Mama is out. I'm hungry. Good night, No Saint.
Good night.
Bye, guys. Bye.